When a man finds out a woman he cares about is with another man, his mind doesn't think clearly. It rushes, it tightens, and almost every instinct he feels pushes him toward the wrong move. The first thing you need to understand is this. If she is with another man, the situation has already changed. Not emotionally, structurally. The rules you were playing by no longer apply, and reacting the same way you would have before only weakens your position. Most men respond with urgency. They want answers. They want closure. They want to explain themselves. They want to fight for what they believe they're losing. That urge feels natural. But in female psychology, urgency communicates fear, and fear collapses attraction faster than silence ever will. So the first thing you do is stop trying to fix it. Not because you don't care, but because caring without control turns into self-abandonment. Dr. Alena Ros's psychology explains this clearly. Once a woman is emotionally or physically involved with another man, her emotional focus is divided. Anything you do that demands reassurance only adds pressure, and pressure pushes her further away. Instead of confronting, you pull back emotionally. Not dramatically, not angrily, not with passive aggression. You pull back cleanly. You stop asking questions that won't change the outcome. You stop monitoring her behavior. You stop trying to compete with a man you don't even know. Competition places you beneath her decision, and that's not where you belong. Here's the hard truth most men avoid. If she chose to be with another man, chasing her won't restore respect. Explaining yourself won't change her feelings, and emotional appeals won't pull her back. What will change the dynamic is how you handle the loss of control. A man who collapses emotionally confirms her decision. A man who remains grounded introduces doubt. So you choose grounding. You reduce contact without making announcements. You don't block. You don't threaten. You simply stop being emotionally available to someone who chose another direction. This does something powerful psychologically. It removes the emotional safety net she assumed would always be there. Many women stay emotionally connected to previous men, even while seeing someone new. Not out of love, but out of comfort. They expect emotional access without responsibility. When you calmly remove that access, the dynamic shifts. She starts feeling the weight of her choice. This doesn't happen immediately. At first, she feels in control. She feels validated. She feels chosen by someone new. But over time, contrast appears. Your absence creates emotional silence, and silence forces reflection. Dr. Alena Ros emphasizes this point often. Women don't process loss through confrontation. They process it through emotional contrast. When you don't argue, don't beg, and don't chase, her mind fills the gap on its own. She starts comparing, not logically, emotionally. The new man's excitement fades, his flaws appear, his inconsistency shows, and suddenly, the calm you once provided feels noticeable. This is where many men make a critical mistake. They re-enter too early. They answer every message immediately. They offer emotional support. They reopen the door before she's felt the absence fully. That resets the dynamic. If she reaches out, you respond calmly. Warm but not eager. Present but not available on demand. You don't bring up the other man. You don't ask for explanations. You don't seek reassurance. Your composure becomes the message. Women are extremely sensitive to emotional hierarchy. When you remain centered while she's uncertain, the hierarchy flips. She no longer feels emotionally above you. She feels unsure. And uncertainty is where attraction often returns. But let's be clear about something important. You are not doing this to get her back. You're doing this to protect your self-respect. If she returns, she meets a man who didn't break. If she doesn't, you didn't lose yourself trying. That distinction matters. A woman with another man is not a problem to solve. She is information. Information about her boundaries, her emotional maturity, her readiness for commitment. And how you respond to that information determines the future. You also stop romanticizing the past. Men suffer most when they cling to who she was instead of who she is now. If she's with another man, that version of her no longer exists. Accepting reality doesn't make you weak. It makes you precise. Precision beats emotion every time. As time passes, one of three things happens. She stays with the other man and drifts away completely. She keeps both emotional doors open, or she starts questioning her decision. Your behavior determines which of these outcomes leads to dignity instead of damage. By staying grounded, you avoid being the fallback option. By not chasing, you avoid being the emotional safety blanket. By not reacting, you avoid feeding a dynamic that disrespects you. If she comes back, it's because she felt the loss of your emotional presence. If she doesn't, it's because she was never aligned with you long term. Either outcome gives you clarity, and clarity is power. Dr. Alena Ros's psychology always comes back to this truth. A man doesn't win by controlling outcomes. He wins by controlling himself. When a woman is with another man, your silence should not be punishment. It should be peace. Your distance should not be manipulation. It should be alignment. And your strength should not come from dominance. It should come from emotional self-respect. Because the man who remains centered in loss is the man women remember. Not because he begged, not because he fought, but because he walked away without losing himself. And that is the only move that never cost you your dignity.